The silence in the house is deafening. Every corner seems to echo the absence of someone who is no longer there. You walk slowly down the hallway, almost expecting to hear the voice that always filled the space, but you find only emptiness. The photos on the wall hurt now. Once they were memories, now they seem like provocations. You touch one with your fingertips, as if you could pass through the glass and bring back the smile frozen in paper. But the glass is cold. Reality is even colder. In the living room, your favorite armchair remains in the same place, untouched. You can almost hear the sound of laughter that used to fill it, but all that comes is the low hum of the wall clock. Time marches on, cruel, as if nothing had been lost. The chest tightens, and the breath becomes shallow. Every object, every smell, every detail reminds us of what's gone. And the question hammers relentlessly. How can we live without it? You sit on the couch, your hands on your face. The tears come without asking for permission. They're not just tears of sadness, they're tears of despair. Because deep down, you feel like you've lost more than just someone. You've lost a part of yourself, a part of your life. The world outside moves on, but for you it seems stagnant. The future has ceased to be a promise and has become a burden. Nothing seems to have value without the one you loved. And deep down, you wonder if it's worth carrying on. It's in that moment, when the void seems to swallow you, that something changes. You feel a presence. You look up slowly, tears still blurring your vision. At the door, silent, stands Paul Walker. Paul says nothing. He just stands there, as if respecting the weight of the moment. You lower your head again, unable to hold his gaze. The tears continue to fall, but now they're not just for the one who's gone. They're also for you, for not knowing what to do with so much emptiness. Memories invade without asking. The morning smile, the unique way the table was set, the familiar sound of footsteps in the hallway. Everything comes back in painful details, and along with the memories come regrets. The times you could have talked more, hugged more, listened more. Now all of that seems unattainable, lost in time. You think, what's the point of life without the one who gave it meaning? The future seems like a dark corridor, too long to walk alone. Each day that dawns is just another repetition of absence. Paul takes a few steps but doesn't break the silence. He looks around, taking in the details of the house, the boxes of keepsakes, the photos, the objects that still carry the invisible presence of the departed. He doesn't touch anything, but his gaze seems to say, I understand. You hold a photograph with trembling hands. The smiling face in the image seems to mock your pain. You whisper, I don't know how to go on. Your voice falters, swallowed by tears. The weight increases. Your heart insists that everything has lost its value. The money that comes in every month no longer has any purpose. Your routine is meaningless. Tomorrow holds no promises. You feel like you're sitting in a boat adrift, without a sail, without direction. Paul remains close, calm. His presence contrasts with the chaos within you. He doesn't try to rush anything, doesn't try to extract words you can't yet say. He just stands there, solid, like a rock amidst a tide of pain. And little by little you realize that this silence is different from the emptiness that crushed you. His silence doesn't suffocate. It opens space, as if to say, you don't have to go through this alone. Paul approaches slowly. He crouches down in front of you, level with you, and finally breaks the silence. His voice is low, calm, but firm. I know what hurts now. You look around and see only absence. But listen, absence doesn't erase the presence that was. Love doesn't end with departure. It changes form. You hold the photograph tighter, tears falling uncontrollably. Paul continues, you think you've lost everything, but what you live together is forever. No one can take that away. What you built wasn't in vain. Its value doesn't fit in boxes. It doesn't fit in money. It fits in your life, which goes on. You shake your head, your voice breaking. But I don't know how to live without. Paul places his hand over yours, firm and warm. I know, the pain doesn't go away. But listen, pain isn't the end. It's proof that the love was real. And if it was real, it continues to shape you. You don't need to erase the pain. You need to learn to walk with it. He takes a deep breath and continues. The future is not the same as the past. It will be different, it will hurt, but it still exists. You still breathe. As long as you breathe, there is hope. As long as you breathe, there is still room for choices. And each choice may be small, but it paves the way for change. You look at him, trying to find strength. Paul smiles slightly. Do you know what faith is? It's not believing that pain will disappear. It's believing that life can still have meaning, even with the pain. Faith is taking a step even when the ground seems broken. You swallow hard. He concludes, you don't honor someone who's gone by giving up. Honor them by continuing. Honor them by living so that each memory becomes a source of strength, not paralysis. The greatest tribute you can pay is to live. Because if you stop now, you extinguish the flame that still carries their name. And that flame is proof that you existed together. The words pierce like light piercing the darkness. For the first time in a long time, you feel not just pain, but also a spark, small, but real. You remain seated, tears still flowing, but something is different now. The weight on your chest hasn't disappeared, but it's no longer the same suffocating weight it was minutes ago. It's as if there's room to breathe, as if a crack has opened within the darkness. He looks again at the photograph in his hands. Before, he only saw what he lost. Now he begins to realize what he had. The smile in that image is no longer just pain. It is also a living memory of a real time, of a story that no one can erase. Paul stands there, silent, but his presence remains firm, solid, like a pillar holding up the ceiling you thought would collapse. You hear the words echoing within you. To honor is to carry on. While you breathe, there is still a future. You take a deep breath. The air still comes heavy, but it no longer hurts as much as before. You realize that each breath is, in itself, an act of resistance, an act of faith. Your gaze sweeps across the room again. The objects remain the same, the armchairs, the memories, the antique furniture. But the way you see them changes. They're no longer just reminders of absence. They're witnesses to a lifetime shared. Signs that there was love, that there was value. And maybe you think if life still goes on, then there can still be purpose. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be one step at a time. A phone call to someone who also misses you. A little care for those close to you. Simple choices that, together, can create change. You realize that even money that once seemed useless can take on new meaning. It can help someone. It can create something that keeps the memory of the one who's gone alive. It doesn't have to be a symbol of emptiness. It can be a bridge. Paul watches your eyes change ever so slightly. Your throat burns again, but it's not just sadness. It's the excitement of realizing that even with pain, there's still a tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be the same, but it can exist, and existing is already a beginning. The room remains silent, but now the silence isn't just emptiness. It's full of memories, of meaning, of promises that can still be made. You hold the photograph in your lap, take a deep breath, and for the first time in days, weeks perhaps, you feel like it's still possible to carry on. Paul stands up slowly. He looks around once more, as if taking in every detail of the room, every memory held there. Then he turns his eyes to you. His gaze conveys no rush, but certainty. You know what to do now, he says quietly. It's not forgetting. It's living in a way that honors. It's transforming pain into purpose, absence into presence, memory into strength. You feel the tears well up again, but this time, they're not tears of despair. They're tears of recognition. He continues, the love you have lived is proof of your value. That value hasn't ended. It walks with you. As long as there is breath, there is life. As long as there is life, there is hope. And as long as there is hope, there will always be choices. You close your eyes for a moment, and the words echo. Choices. The pain doesn't disappear, but the decision changes everything. You understand that you can choose to transform. You can choose to give meaning. Paul takes a step toward the door. Before leaving, he looks once more and says, the future isn't about forgetting what's gone. It's about deciding what you're going to do with what's left. And that decision is in your hands. He opens the door, and the light from outside floods into the room, illuminating the space that seemed gray just a few minutes ago. He smiles slightly. as if confident in what he's left behind, and then disappears into the light. You sit there, still with tears in your eyes, but with something different inside your chest. It's not relief, it's not complete joy. It's a small, almost timid flame, but real, a flame called faith. You look at the photo again, run your thumb over the glass and whisper, "I'll keep going, for us." And in the silence that follows, Paul's question echoes as if it had been engraved inside you. If love is still alive in you, how will you choose to honor it from now on?